Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Habayim. Today I want to share with you two divrei Torah from the Chida. I have very exciting news. Be'ezus Hashem, the Sefer on Lag BaOmer is being completed. If anybody would like to be mishtatef with that Sefer. In Parsha Shemini, it lists the four animals that are only have one siman and are not kosher. It says, Ach es zel lo yisoichlu, Perkid Aleph Pasuk Daled. Only this you should not eat. Mi ma'alei ha'geira, mi ma'frisei ha'parsa, from those that chew its cud, from those who have split hooves. Es hagamal, the camel. Ki ma'alei geirahu, it chews its cud, ufarsa inenu ma'fris, but its hooves are not split. Tamehu lachem. So the Kli Yakar asks that the order of why the Torah lists that you can't eat a camel, it's sort of out of order or somewhat incongruous, because it's trying to explain why can't you eat a camel. So it should say you can't eat a camel because uparsa inenu mafris. The fact that it chews its cud is not the reason you can't eat it. So it should be maybe a later thought, a secondary thought. But why, if it's trying to explain the animals and list the animals you're not allowed to eat, why would it begin by saying the camel chews its cud? So in years past, we saw the Kli Yakar has an amazing approach. Kli Yakar says that the fact that a camel chews its cud makes it more tameh. It's not a siman of tahara, it makes it more tameh, because it's hypocrisy. If you're going to be bad, but don't make believe you're good. That's worse. Making believe you're good is worse than being bad. But I would like to share with you an amazing approach from the Chida. This is found in a Sefer in the Chida. I don't think I ever used it before. It's the Sefer Ruach Chaim. Ruach Chaim are the drushos of the Chida. And in Drush Aleph, in his Drush for Shabbos Haggadah, amazingly, the Chida's Shabbos Haggadah drasha in Tuf Kuf Nun Tes 1799. Wasn't so long ago. It was only 225 years ago. 1799. Chida says like this. There's an inyan of Pesach Devarecha Yair. Pesach Devarecha Yair. What does Pesach Devarecha Yair mean? When you start, you're supposed to start with something positive. I'll give you an example. There's a Gemara in Ksubas Daf Ayin Hamad Beis. The Gemara says that Rabbi Yeshua does follow Cheskas Haguf, because the Gemara says if you have a white spot before a white hair, first you have a white spot, then a white hair, you're tameh. And if the white hair comes before the white spot, you're tahar. Safek is tameh. Rabbi Yeshua says Safek is tahar. Why? Cheskas Haguf. So Tosfos asks, what's the reasoning of the Rabbanan who say you're tameh? What about Cheskas Haguf? So Tosfos says, well, here we're talking about where you have a Cheskas Tumah. It's talking about you had a different nega, you had a shchin or a michya, and you were muchlet because of it. And before you became tar from that, now there's a suffix. So there's a cheskas tumah. So Tosfos asks, but it says letaharoi or letamoi. So doesn't letaroi or letamoi mean that only over here, first, if you're mesupik, you're metaher? So Tosfos says, we learn out from there, Safek is tahar. The question is, what do the Rabbanan say? The Rabbanan say, you're tameh. So why don't we learn out from the pasuk, letaroi or letameh? So the Ritva says, the Rabbanan would say, the reason why the Torah says letaroi first is Pesach Devarecha Yair. You always want to start with something positive. Says the Chida, based on this principle, we could explain the psukim in Parshas Shemais, in Parshas Shemini, It says as Hagamal, Kimale Gerahu. Why would it first say the siman of Tahara? Aren't we trying to explain the reason why it's Tameh? It's Tameh because it doesn't have split hooves. Or by a Chazir, it says it has split hooves. That's the siman of Tahara. Why does it do that? Says the Chida, Pesach Devarecha Yair. Our obligation is always to first start with whatever redeeming positive qualities there are. So in other words, even if you have a pig, you have a camel, or you have a really rotten guy, and we have to explain why we need to stay away from the chazir, why we have to stay away from the gamal, or we have to stay away even from Pliny. Nevertheless, there's a general principle. Pesach Devarecha Yair. Pesach Devarecha Yair. You always start with the positive. So even if it's a gamal, it's going to say, well, it chooses its cod. Even if it's a chazir, it's going to say that it has split hooves. Or by tsaras, it will always say letaharoi or letamoi, and the Ritva says you can't learn out from there. Safek is tahar. This is how the Chida in the Sefer Ruach Chaim. These are the drashas of the Chida. Actually, in the opening of the Sefer, it gives you copies of what the Chida's handwriting looked like, where the Chida enumerates the different drashas that he has, and he had a total of 148 different drashas. Okay, that's first offering for today.
Recording stopped.